It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
After winning back-to-back titles, do you think Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett has entered into the greatest football player in Georgia history?
Boy, greatest is such a... no, I think
Conversation.
One of the greatest stories, but greatest player, no, Herschel Walker.
Come
right?
on. Yes,
But,
of course.
but greatest story, yes. Walk on, left because they didn't like him, said he wasn't good enough, came back, still didn't start. All these things happened. With him winning 2 national championships, that's a really great story. It's the greatest story in Georgia history. Greatest player, we could rattle off a few that are probably better as far as players. No Sean Moreno.
Yep.
AJ Green?
Absolutely.
AJ Green was-
Herschel
AJ.
Walker's
Herschel
probably the
Walker.
guy, though, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from Stetson Bennett, I think he got the most out of what he was given, and I think he'll get a look in the NFL. I mean, he could be a 5th or 6th round pick and stick somewhere. A good organization could bring him in, not a bad organization that he'll have to either play early or get cut, but a good organization gets sit. He has a pretty good arm. He can run. He can run.
He can.
He really is surprisingly really athletic.
Athletic. I mean, you see that he's white, and you're like, and he's like lunky and like dorky. Oh, he's kind of good looking, but he's still dorky. He's still
Good looking dude.
Yeah, that guy's a
but
dork.
he's still
He's
like
a dork.
dorky,
Guys,
right?
come on. Good looking dork.
And you don't
Oh,
think
I
he
mean,
can,
I'm sure he's doing just fine in Athens.
You
Like,
think?
Oh, yeah.
You think?
but greatest player, no. But greatest story, yeah, probably.
I like it. Okay, going to that game still, do you think TCU fans would have rather had their game or had their team not playing the game at all than have them play in that and get whooped that bad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, no, don't be there, no show.
Wait,
Here's my
don't
memory
wanna
of
be there?
no. Here's my memory of TCU getting embarrassed.
Yeah.
After everything that happened this season, all the story, everything, that's such a loud scream. It's so loud, it's almost you can't hear nothing else. And also it's bad for everybody. It's bad for teams that aren't SEC teams. It's bad for teams that are not Power 5, even though TCU is. They were a school that comes from a Power 5, but it was like not a real traditional Power 5 winner. So it's just bad. It's bad for a lot of people. It was embarrassing for them. I think a close loss for that program would have been better than this humiliating loss in the championship. And for everybody that's an SEC hater, that would have been better too, because people like myself and Jordan are just like, yep, look how big our balls are now. We told you. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, like within that game lasted 7 minutes, maybe. And then
The only time was that one touchdown where the guy fell down where I was like, maybe this is a game.
like maybe they can get it within 21. But I think even too, watching that first drive, the team in red was bigger, faster, and stronger than the team in white. Like it was just that was 2 teams that should have never been playing for the national championship.
How long did you watch? What time did you turn the game off?
So this is crazy. I watched I'm scrolling on my phone, but I put myself through all 4 quarters.
Wow.
But I mean, when Georgia scored when they answered that TCU touchdown that fast, I was like, this is
The third,
this is bad.
like 1, them, 2 TCU, that third. Yeah, it was efficient.
Yeah.
It was easy.
Super easy. And then, I mean, Georgia just bullied them for the rest of the game. That really I think that crushed the Big 12. That hurt the Big 12 really, really bad.
And the Big 12 is losing their 2 biggest schools as well.
Yeah.
So with Texas and Oklahoma leaving, not next year, but most likely the year
Coming
after now,
to
that's coming
where?
to the SEC.
The SEC.
I think that's a great point, is that the 2 schools that you think probably wouldn't have been bullied, and listen, Texas hasn't been good in a long time, but they still have a reputation of being a big school that does big things.
They got a lot of money.
Those 2 big schools are leaving, it feels even worse. I mean, you have Cincinnati coming in, you have UCF coming in. It's not like they're going to
That's not like a really sexy look to say, oh, well, we're going to replace them with, I couldn't even tell you their mascots right now.
Let's say it now, Power 4. I just said it.
Getting down to it?
I mean,
Power 4.
After you get beat by that bad, come on, man.
They cost the whole conference a classification.
Power 4.
Yes,
Like
the
relegation.
Now the Power 4.
Well, that's your champion. That's who you sent.
I know.
It's like,
Well, and they also got beat by Kansas State for the conference
or
champ.
they're not.
And then Alabama whooped Kansas State.
Alabama whooped them.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to say this, and we're going to do a thing about us being wrong later, but I thought Alabama should have been in. Just because I thought, but they still made the right decision. They did put the team. I thought TCU should have been in there.
Yeah.
So, but I thought eyeball test, Alabama was going to have the best shot to actually get out. Who won the money, Mike? We owe somebody some money.
I won.
How much? Okay,
What?
can you?
Yeah.
He's the winner?
You're the
picked
only one
Georgia
that picked Georgia?
Very beginning.
very beginning.
And so we couldn't.
Congrats, Mike.
Because Mike had Georgia Island covered, boom, flag in, so we couldn't jump on.
Mm-hmm.
So just let us all know how much money we owe you, and we'll pay
Okay.
you. I think I changed my team like 9 times.
You did.
He invoices me for $119. God dang. All right, next question.
All right, going to the NFL. Do you think Tom Brady continues his undefeated career streak against Dallas on Monday night and makes it to 8-0?
Hold on. Let me get my whistle in my mouth.
I don't.
Oh, I'll take it out of my mouth.
Ooh.
I don't. And they could. But I don't. But I barely don't, Eddie. I'm going to be honest with you. I barely
That's okay.
don't.
I like the barely. I'm with you.
I think the fact that the Cowboys got embarrassed this last game is good for them. If TCU had another game coming up, I'd feel pretty good about them going into that. But I barely. I mean, it's like 52-48, bro.
I think that's the closest line of the weekend. 2.5 maybe.
Yeah, most of those games are like
And the Chargers.
8+.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville. Yeah.
But yes, I'm gonna go. Let's just go around the room. I think the Cowboys will win.
Oh,
Eddie,
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Cowboys will win.
Cowboys
We've seen how hard it is for Tom Brady to get the ball rolling.
but we've seen Tom Brady win the Super Bowl more than and be.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna go what we've seen,
And we've also seen how easy it is for Dak to give it away.
We've
and
seen
we've
that
also
too.
seen how this Tampa Bay offensive line's played the last couple weeks getting healthy and healthier. And they've been able to run the ball, which then opens up play action, which is what Tom Brady's really good at.
And he's like,
What are you laughing at?
I just feel like we really jumped on him right there. But
No, man. I mean, look, I understand where a lot of Cowboy haters out there, and I get it. Tom Brady, the GOAT. Guys, this is the worst we've ever seen Tom Brady. This is the worst we've ever seen him. The Cowboys, look, I love that they lost their last game.
You don't love that.
Can I do? Can I read that?
You don't love that.
Can I
though.
read that awesome stat that our friend Steve sent us?
Yeah, but you don't love that they lost the last game.
Sure, I do.
Now you found a way to make it a positive in your mind.
You know what was weird, man? When I was watching the game, I truly did not feel bad while they were losing.
Shut up,
Even
Eddie.
when
Well,
Dak
I
threw
mean,
a
you're
pick-
We're on a
already in.
text
Like,
thread.
Exactly.
you kind of know you're in. I mean, that's and you can sit there, but some of those Dak plays were just that last pick six he had 2 wide open receivers right in front of him. Like, what are you looking at?
I mean, he was also throwing into double coverage, triple coverage. I feel like the defense wasn't really even playing. They're not going to want to hurt themselves before the playoffs. I really wasn't shook by it. But let's go Cowboys, man. We got this. I cannot wait to make Tom Brady 7-1 against the Cowboys.
I'm rooting for the Cowboys myself because I still own them in our league that we bought all these teams ahead of time. And so if you have a team in the playoffs, it continues to go. And so this is how much money I'm down. So they have to win because I'm down a lot in this stupid match.
Did
They
you
will win.
read the stat? What was the stat?
Yeah, what was the stat?
Oh
You
no!
never gave it to us.
Let me tell you. So
Thank you for doing that because he just fully moved on. He's like,
What?
wait till I tell you this, and then
Yeah.
never tells us.
This is the win-loss pattern of the Cowboys from the start of the season. So Cowboys lose a game, they win 4 in a row after that. Then they lose a game, they win 2 in a row after that. They lost a game, they win 4 in a row again. In this pattern, the last loss, they won 2 in a row. So we're back at that 4. So boys,
what fours get you.
with this
That's
last
not a stat.
Yes, it is. With this last Commanders loss, if we win 4 in a row like we've been doing all season, we're winning the Super Bowl, boys.
But that's not really a stat as much as it is
It's a
trend.
pattern.
That sounds like a Cowboy
coincidence.
fan.
A weird coincidence.
That's badass.
I,
what it is.
I picture Eddie in a room by himself with like the detective board and all the strings tied to all the threads and
saying there is a
conspiracy
chance.
theories. Yeah, there's a chance.
I need the Cowboys to win because every Cowboys win is worth $500 to me from here out.
We
But
got you, bub.
Yeah, but I'm down 20.
scratch.
I'm down $2,900. I'm negative $2,900.
Yeah, but the Cowboys didn't do that to you. All those other teams you picked
The
did.
Cowboys got me 12 skins this year.
It's great.
But my biggest winner was the Bears losing at 14 skins. But I'm down 2,900, and I have 2 teams in the playoffs: the Cowboys and the Chargers. So every time they win, it's $500.
Let's go.
I need both teams to win the Super Bowl for 7 years, so I can get back into this. I don't know how that's going to work. Golly, I'm down so much in the stupid. I don't have to pay that. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. The fact that the Raiders were so bad,
Yeah.
the Rams
The
were so
Rams.
bad, and I got both those teams early.
God,
Those
that-
2 teams got you bad.
Sucks. All right, what else, Kevin?
Which young quarterback making his first postseason career start do you trust more when they face off on Saturday? Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert?
Man, I like them both. That's pretty cool that I feel like I would trust them both mostly. Trevor Lawrence has earned it this year. You know, last year it was like, we know this guy's got potential. At some point, we think we're supposed to trust that he can win. But he's except for the fumble against Dallas, which they ended up winning that game, by the way. Remember when he went around the left side, like tried for the extra yards, even though it was a long run. He like turned. Except for that, he's made pretty good late game decisions second half of the season. Like so many that it's trending that you're going, oh, he actually knows what he's doing, why to do it, and when he doesn't, he figures it out quick, which is awesome. And he can also run. Talk about sets a minute running. Trevor Lawrence can run. He's a big boy too.
Big guy, dude.
Yeah.
So I like both of them. Probably Herbert, though, if I'm picking right now, just because I think Herbert's right now a better quarterback, and I'm just going to go based solely on who's the best quarterback with the best weapons. And I do think with San Diego having a receiver back with possibly the second week, Slater, their lineman could be back. I mean, I think there's a good chance for the Chargers to do 2-game ceiling. That's what I put it at. I think their ceiling is 2 wins. I don't think any more than that. Boy, I wish they would though. I'm at $2,900.
You want that? You want more than that?
That's and too that side. You're going through Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. That's going to be a tough bracket to come out of.
And I think they could win this one against against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And they could that's why the ceiling is 2. I think they could, but I'm going to go with Herbert. Jordan, who did that?
I did. I got to go Trevor Lawrence because I like them both about the same by their performances of late. But the Chargers defense is way, way below what the Jaguars have, and Jaguars defense is top 10 right now. They've been playing really well, so I got to give the edge to Trevor Lawrence.
I also say too that with Justin Herbert, he's had to play against these better teams for most of the year too. Again, you're over on a side being in the AFC. Those teams they're just better. There's just more good teams.
Yeah, much better conference.
That's true.
So he's constantly having. I think his sword's a little sharper at this point too, and there's something to say about that. I think so. I would go with the Chargers in general. Wait, Jordan, you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I love Trevor Lawrence. I love that you got 2 young quarterbacks that had targets on their back coming out of college. That have gotten their teams in the playoff. I'm pulling for Trevor Lawrence for, last year, comes into Jacksonville, tough organization.
Tough head coach.
Lose him halfway through the year. Brand new coach this year. I like
Who would
Trevor
you bet
Lawrence.
your money on, though?
Man, I'm actually taking Jaguars. I'm going with the Jags.
Did you just hear the man? He needs the Chargers.
Idiot.
But I think that's my favorite game of the weekend.
Yeah, because it's one we're looking at going, I wonder who wins.
It could be like
I mean, Dallas.
Not
and
counting
Tampa.
Mondays, you're saying?
not counting. Monday.
Okay, all right.
It's my favorite game on Sunday.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, we're talking about spreads in that game right now. They're sort of Saturday and Sunday. There are only 2 games with a spread under 8, and it's the Jags and Chargers and Giants and Vikings. So do you trust the Jags more to pull it out or the Giants as underdog?
The Giants. I think the Giants. And it's not even about the Giants. They figure out ways to win, but so does Minnesota. But I just feel, that tick, 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 tick. When is that freaking thing going to turn into a pumpkin?
Yeah.
I do keep thinking. I mean, I have even Minnesota, they have weapons. Look, everywhere, running back, wide receiver. I mean, quarterback's fine, but they've just done it by the skin of their teeth so many times. And not that the Giants haven't, because early there were a lot of those games against the Titans on like week 1 when they go for the 2 or win the game with Saquon. The Giants, though, I feel like has a better shot to beat the Vikings than the Jags. Because anybody thinks the Jaguars are going to win, they're just stupid. I'll just say it. They're stupid and they're ugly, and nobody likes them. And I don't know who that would be, but they're just stupid. And their beards suck. And so I don't know,
I like the home game.
Oh.
I like the Jaguars at home. Playoff football going into Minnesota, like that's going to be a tough game to pull out.
No weather.
Yeah, you're in a dome, but you're also playing in Florida. Jaguars it's
No weather. Both teams.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like, Duval's pretty loud.
That
they're
fan
pretty
base,
passionate
they're
over
fired
there.
up.
Yeah.
Man.
They're pretty.
They're
It's
fired
kind
up
of
for sure.
new money
Yeah.
passion though.
They're like, whoa, we're in the playoffs.
They're like, what
We've
number
only
is
won
Mark
15
Brunell?
games the past 5 years.
Sailor. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, last one. With Lamar Jackson unlikely to play on Sunday, do you think this is a business decision for him?
No, I think he probably can't play. I think it'd be awesome if he played and he won the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the business decision. If you believe in yourself, go do it. I think if he's 60% and probably could force it, I don't think the move is to go and play hurt because that is a business decision. because you don't want to go and give it all when you don't have that much anyway, and then it looks pretty bad even though you didn't have it. I mean, I'd compare a little bit of that to Baker Mayfield with Cleveland with a broken arm, break collarbone, shoulder issue, all his throw. And it's like after the season, they're going, man, he was so hurt the whole season.
Yeah.
The fact that he even gutted it out. And you have a quarter of people who don't get to hear that conversation and go, Baker Mayfield sucks. And it's like, well, he was hurt, and that hurt him on the market. It did hurt him. So do I think it's just a straight business decision? No. I think, though, if he is, like he's holding himself out because he wants to, I'll show them. I think that if he is really hurt and could barely play, he shouldn't, because that part of it's business. And if it wasn't a contract year, it probably would be a little different. But if he ain't good, and also, they've won some games with the backup quarterback. So I think that he wants to stay there. I think if he could, he would play. But I wouldn't play if I was barely. With the Jets. So Zach Wilson goes out. What's the backup there?
Mike White.
Mike White comes in. He breaks his ribs. He gets his ribs all
Yeah.
cracked up. He came back the next week. Now Mike White's looking to have a spot next year somewhere, and his ribs were so bad, and he gutted it out and he played. But that line was so bad for him. He did not. His numbers weren't good. He did not look good. And I get he wanted to gut it out, but the business there is probably not to go out there and gut it out and look bad, because it's going to hurt you more next year, because it's a contract year. If it's not a contract year, it's probably a different situation.
Yeah.
Because our last real taste of Mike White's him sucking.
Yeah, the last game.
Because his ribs were messed up. So could be, but I really don't think it is. I'd like to see Lamar play, and I bet if they win, which they won't, I bet if they win, he plays the next week. That it?
That's it.